Shalom, Yasha Allah. It's brother Mapathak. That'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? And I just want to dive into this article, right? And with this wicked woman, right? This wicked so-called black woman, right? This wicked Eve, in Detroit, she was charged with the murder of her 3-year-old son, right? And his body was found in the freezer. So I'm gonna read this article, from the DetroitNews.com, and get some precepts through the Spirit of the Lord, right? And before we go into it, I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and I'm gonna dive right into this article. So this the title of this article is Detroit Woman Charged with Murder After Body of 3-year-old Found in Freezer, right? And this is recent, right? This article was published today, actually. She was charged today with the murder. And it says a Detroit woman has been charged with the murder and other charges after the body of her 3-year-old son was found in a basement freezer. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy announced Sunday that Azaradi France, 31, has been charged with felony murder, first-degree child abuse, torture, and concealing the death of an individual. The alleged facts in this case have astounded even the seriously jaded. Worthy said in a statement Sunday, "Our children continue to be at risk, not just from gun violence, but also from the alleged murderer that lives in the house with them." Right? And it says France is expected to be arraigned before Magistrate Laura Icartia in 36th District Court Sunday, the prosecutor office said. At 12:45 a.m. Friday, Detroit police officers were dispatched to a home in the 12,760 block of Monte Vista for a wellness check on a child, and discovered the remains of a deceased child in the freezer. Right? It says the medical examiner has determined that the boy's death was a homicide. Aspects of the case remain under investigation, and the facts and evidence will be placed on the record of the preliminary examination, the prosecutor's office said. Right? So if you want to dive into this, the whole article, right, it's on DetroitNews.com. But I just wanted to kind of touch on this because this is the days that we're living in, right? Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew, I believe it's in the 24th chapter, actually, that the love of many shall wax cold in the last days. And we can see that happening on a mass scale, right? You have a so-called black woman killing her own son. You understand? Let's get that in Matthew. A 3-year-old young brother, right? Killed by his own mother, right? Let's bring this out in Matthew 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, right? And we see iniquity abounding on the earth, right? Let's go into that word abound, right? It says, let's go into that word shall abound. It says to increase, to multiply. And we see iniquity, we see evils increasing upon the earth. Right? So the Lord said, because iniquity shall increase, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what we see happening. The love of many shall wax cold. There's no more love on the earth, especially when the mother it kills her own son. You know? So I want to bring this out as well in Sirach, the 3rd chapter. And it just shows too how wicked the so-called black woman is. You understand? And when and we're not talking about our repentant sisters, but the so-called black woman in the world is second after being the most wicked on the earth, after the so-called white man, after Esau, right? The so-called black man's biggest enemy after the so-called white man is the so-called black woman, right? And I believe that. You understand? This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." You see that? The curse of the mother rooteth out foundations, right? And she just killed her son, right? And left him in the freezer for his body to decompose. You see? And I'm gonna try to I believe one of these articles actually have a picture of her. right? I want brothers and sisters to see the picture of this wicked woman, right? Because somebody might be watching. You didn't even prove if she was an Eve or not. This is Eve, man, and she looked like she have a legion of demons on her. She looks wicked, right? She looks wicked with the cumbrellas on, right? She got the what they call it, the damn swooped edges, but she killed her own son, man. She's wicked, right? And this is our woman, man. This is our woman in these last days, right? Let's go back to the I want to read it again. Sirach 3 and verse 9, it says, "For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." Right? The curse of the mother rooted for foundations. And like I said, the so-called black woman is second after Esau, right? Being the enemy to the black man. You see? And and Paul dealt with this, right? And when Paul was walking the earth, Paul said the same thing. Many of the women are already given over to Satan. Let's get that in 1 Timothy, the 5th chapter. Right? This 1 Timothy to the 5 and verse 14. It says, "I will therefore that a younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully." Right? And this is the point. The 15th verse. It says, "For some are already turned aside after Satan." Right? Some of our women are already turned aside after Satan. You see? So this is what the scriptures say. It's not me just coming from my own vain opinion. Right? It's not me just expressing my own feelings. The so-called black woman is already turned aside after Satan. You see? That's what the scriptures say. Right? So you got this woman that killed her 3-year-old son, man. Right? Which is wow. And then what makes it sad is that it's not really surprising, right? It's not really surprising with Eve. Right? Hey man. Nowadays, Eve is wicked, right? And that's why Eve they're going to be judged greatly in the time of Jacob's trouble. I'm led to believe Eve is going to have it the worst, right? But that's all I wanted to go through the spirit, right? I just kind of came across that article and it kind of, hey man, I just had to bring this out through the spirit, right? The scriptures say, some are already turned aside after Satan, and you know she's operating in the spirit of Satan, right? She killed her own son. She gave life to him and she killed him. You see? But with that, I want to say shalom, and Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rukakadash. Right? Shalom, Yasha Allah.